Alright guys, TJHaLy here, back again today. Day 2 of the Call of Duty World Championship has concluded. A lot of teams are out of the tournament. Only 16 teams remain. Not an incredible amount of upsets over the last day, but the bracket has been confirmed. Definitely something worth looking at, and of course, we already know that some big name teams are out of the tournament. Some more big name teams went out on yesterday, the Thursday, and some big name teams made it in by the skin of their teeth, as we will discuss as the video goes on. So like if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Down below will be the link to Cam Allen, who made all of these lovely scoreboards for the video today. And let's just hop right into it. So yeah, today's matches start later, at the same time as the last couple of days, 10 AM Pacific, 1 PM Eastern, 6 PM British Summer Time. So feel free to work out your time zone from those figures. Twitch.tv/Call of Duty. Let's hop right into it. So starting off here with Pool E, the first matches of the day, Singularity versus Vanity. And you know, Singularity has been a fantastic team so far this event. They pretty much mopped the floor with LG on the first day. They play against Vanity, you know what you expect. They have some really talented players, and yeah, Insight just goes off this series, as does Kleenex and Keza, and they win the series no problem at all. Hot 3-0 on this one. Then LG play UYU, and this was an incredible matchup. You know, LG ended up qualifying for the bracket play, and this was probably one of the most incredible moments because Skies, I'll put the clip on screen, he had a 1v2 in the very final round of Search and Destroy. Game 5, round 11, UYU brought it all the way back to a game 5 after getting kind of destroyed in the first couple of maps. And yeah, it was Skies versus Methods in the end. Skies played Ring Around the Rosie. You know, Fog of War played its part and Stim Shot played its part, things that a lot of people, including myself, don't like about the game. Methods really should have had an advantage in that situation, but Skies could see Methods' red dot running on the minimap, even though he couldn't see him because of Fog of War. He could get around the corners because of the Stim Shot, ends up winning a pretty impressive gunfight against Methods in the end. And yeah, like that leads to LG qualifying and UYU going home. We'll see how exactly that transpired later on, but that was one of the most crucial moments of the tournament so far, especially if LG go on to make a deep run here, which is definitely possible with the caliber of players on their teams. This was probably one of the series of the day. Then of course 100 Thieves played Fury Gaming, took them down 3-1, relatively comfortable for 100 Thieves. Actually won both the hard points by the same margin, which is a pretty rare one. Yeah, 100 Thieves definitely looking good right now. Kenny especially has been really good over the last day or so. Midnight Sicario, this is a massive series. Game 5, round 11 it came all the way down to, and Sicario took it home. I'll put that clip on screen as well. These are the only couple of ones I have so far because it was difficult for me to watch a lot of these matches last night. I was out and I've managed to catch up on some of them, but I don't have an incredible amount of context. But hopefully, and well, thankfully, Cam Allen scoreboards can provide just that. So yeah, Sicario win both the searches in this one against Midnight to take the series in a massively important series in the context of things, because Sicario had lost to 100 Thieves and they go on to beat Fury later. So this was basically their chance. If you beat Midnight, they had a good chance of making it all the way out into the bracket play. We'll have a look how that turned out in just a second here. So yeah, very close series in the end. KD's really favouring Midnight, but at the end of the day, comes down to a game 5, round 11, and Sicario get the better of them. So yeah, guess you can't really ask for much more. Exceed had a fantastic series out of the side of Sicario. EG played Train Hard, beat them 3-1. Not really too much to discuss here. Train Hard and I believe Carnage, the other team in this pool, were always going to very much struggle against EG and OpTic. We'll have a look at that happen in a second. Carnage actually did win map number 1 here against OpTic, but then OpTic decided, okay, you know, let's just turn it on. Let's just take these guys down. They won the payload search, the control and the hardpoint pretty comfortably, and OpTic's search so far has looked relatively good from what we've seen, which is a very good sign if you're an OpTic fan, because where they're going to be placed in the bracket is difficult for them, and we'll have to see going forward how they can perform. They're going to have a difficult bracket, but they've had a pretty damn good start to the tournament. Moving onwards then, Aspire versus Hybrid was a matchup in the final pool, in Pool H. Aspire took it down pretty much as expected. Honestly, Hybrid have some pretty big names here, but they really didn't perform particularly well this tournament, I would say. And Splice played Heretics in a pretty big matchup in terms of how the seeding will go for the rest of the tournament. And Splice got the better of Heretics pretty comfortably. Considering how good Heretics looked day 1 against Hybrid, I was impressed by Splice here taking this series so comfortably. And yeah, Hook 1.5 KD over the series. That is more like it. That's what they picked him up for. And well, impressive stuff. If you're getting like like these kind of figures out of Looney and Jerd, you're probably going to win the series no problem, especially against a team that maybe, you know, Heretics has been pretty damn good, and we don't really know how good they are. They are going to be playing OpTic in the bracket, so we'll have to see how good they are then, and then maybe we can see how good Splice are as well. They'll be playing against Evil Geniuses, so, you know, the other Group G team that made it out. We'll have a look at that in just a second here. Moving onwards then through the matches, E United played Elevate in the Pool A, back to the start really, and yeah, E United got the better of them pretty comfortably. You know, Elevate won the first map, which is fair enough, but E United at this point had already qualified, not too much on their plate really. They ran through this series really no problem at all, and then Celtic played RBL Esports, and this was a crucial match. Celtic only had to win 2 maps, as far as I understand, to qualify for bracket play. They'd already taken down Elevate 3-1 on the first day. Yes, they lost to E United in comfortable fashion, but all they had to do here was beat RBL Esports, Glory, Gunsy, 2 Real, Clink and Human Jesus. I think they didn't even have to beat them. I think they just had to go to Game 5, and Celtic would have had the tiebreaker over the rest of the teams to qualify through to the bracket play. But instead, they lose to RBL Esports, which honestly probably just a bit of like overconfidence coming in here, right? Like you beat Elevate, yes, you lose to E United, but you're thinking, okay, no problem, we're going to come against RBL Esports, the worst team in the pool, and we're going to, you know, at least win a couple of maps, especially after map 1 you beat them so comfortably. I'm sure Celtic were thinking they were laughing all the way to the bank, and look, it just doesn't work out for them, especially you're almost getting 100 clubbed in the last map, so disappointing for the boys of Celtic, but I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles at the end of the day. Impressive stuff from RBL Esports, but they still didn't qualify, as we can have a look at in a second here. Elevate made it out of the pool along with E United. Team War then played Fuego, which was pretty much the decider in Pool B, because we had the Enigma 6 Gen.G match, which Enigma 6 took that one down. I don't think even Kamala made a scoreboard of that one, because it was just, you know, a team that was already eliminated against a team that knew they were going to make bracket. Didn't really matter as a series, but Enigma 6 did beat Gen.G in the end, so they didn't even get another map on the board on the Thursday. And then War vs Fuego was the match to decide the second team that would come out the pool. You know, pretty happy that War managed to make it. Been a difficult year for a lot of these guys, same for Fuego really, but you know, at the end of the day only one team can make it, and Team War are definitely the better team out of the two, so it makes sense that that's what's happened as far as I'm concerned. Then we go on to Pool C, FaZe versus Units. FaZe did end up winning this. It wasn't unbelievably comfortable. FaZe are very good at control. You know, the hard point of the Search and Destroy definitely went down to the wire a little bit, so relatively impressed with Units. Still, they will be moving on to the bracket, but also FaZe are, you know, one of my favourites for this tournament, so it makes sense that they would take this series. You know, pretty good series overall from Celium especially. So yeah, moving on, the other match in this thing, Major Animosity, didn't matter though at the end of the day because these teams are already eliminated, so, you know, don't want to dwell on this too much. So yeah, FaZe and Units did make it out of that Pool C, and then Pool D, Envy made it out in first place, winning Game 5 in every single match that they played, even against Legend status here. Hardly an impressive team on paper, but yeah, they lost the first search, then they won the Game 5 search, which is honestly kind of vintage stuff. It's kind of strange. I wonder how deep Envy can go. They're winning Game 5s all the time, where a few weeks ago, or at least like a couple months ago in the Pro League, they were losing literally every search and every Game 5 they played. I'm sure Bevels and Aches and the others have a part to play in that, which is good for Envy, but whether they can keep it up, right? Because yes, they're 3-0, but they've won like 3 Game 5s, which is, you know, fair enough. They beat Reciprocity, a good team. They beat Legend status here, and they will be moving on to bracket play. But I can't see them getting too much further than that the way they're currently playing. But you never know. Paddy P at Champs, he always seems to pull something out the bag, and he's done it again here, making it to bracket play comfortably. Reciprocity took down Sage when it mattered as well. This series was effectively the qualification one. Sorry about that. And yeah, Zed and Dylan have great series. I mean, this is it. Like with the you know, SMGs, if 2 of the SMGs dominate, it's pretty much over. Especially with, you know, Sage maybe not having the highest tier caliber talent. Reciprocity just decided, all right, it's time to make a statement. They're going to be playing FaZe in the first round, which means the Twins, Wuskin versus Scraps will play in the very first round of winners bracket. We'll have a look at that in a second here. Luminosity beat Vanity 3-0. That was all they could do here. They just dominated the series, just to put themselves in the best possible position of making it all the way, because they had to rely on this result here. Singularity UYU. What a game this was. Singularity went up 2-0 quickly. Then UYU brought it back all the way to a game number 5. And if UYU had won, they would have qualified for the bracket play. A. If Singularity won, then, you know, LG qualified. And in the end, Singularity pulled away with it and took the victory. You know, Detain, what a series he had out of him. Really just impressive stuff overall. And yeah, so in the end, Singularity and Kleenex and the boys, Bids9, etc., saved Formal, John, and Luminosity and all that crazy talented team from elimination. So we'll have a look at the bracket in a second, but yeah, Singularity qualified the pools in 3-0 fashion. Really, really impressive stuff from them. Hopefully, it'll be nice to see them make a deep run, you know. A lot of teams, a lot of players that have made it out the bracket are from outside the North American region. I think a tweet from Spoon said it was something in like the region of 40%, 40, maybe a little bit more than that. Whereas last year it was like 25% players outside of Europe making it into bracket play, which is really cool to see. Now, 100 Thieves took down Midnight in the end. This effect, and now the first map was insane. Like 100 Thieves were up so much here, like 248 to like 160, and then they just threw away the lead, which was incredible, really, for 100 Thieves to do. And yeah, they nearly lost the search and destroy as well. They had to bring it back, but like, you know, at the end of the day, 100 Thieves were the better team here. And that saved Sicario effectively and sent Midnight out of the tournament and packing. So, you know, difficult times for them. I thought they would make the bracket, but Sicario get it done, especially after beating Fury here to lock in their place. Exceed had a great series on him. And yeah, all the guys, really good team play from this series from what I saw. Train Hard took down Carnage in 3-0 fashion on the final, well, on Group G. And then OpTic beat Evil Geniuses 3-1. This was a really close series at times. This map number 1, Seaside, was just a classic Seaside map from OpTic Gaming. Really harkens back to what was going on at Vegas, right? And if you're an OpTic fan, then that's probably the sort of stuff you want to see. As I say, their Search and Destroy looking very, very solid is something you also very much want to see. Okay, Evil Geniuses won the control, but OpTic closed it down in 4, which was relatively impressive stuff from them. Obviously, Seaside could have gone the other way. We could have seen a Game 5. Who knows what happens there? But yeah, impressive stuff from OpTic. I think they move on to a relatively doable first couple of rounds in the bracket, and then from there we'll have to see how it goes for them if they do make it all that way. Then the final pool, Splice beat Hybrid 3-1. Not really too much to report on this issue. Closer series maybe than people were expecting, and Heretics took down Aspire as well to lock in their place moving out the bracket. So here we go. Let's have a look through the pools. E-United and Elevate qualified out of Pool A. So pretty much Elevate qualified, I'm pretty sure, because you exclude the matches that these 3 Tides teams played against E-United, and then you look through and you say, okay, well, Celtic had the worst game win percentage overall, so they come last, and then between RBL and Elevate were the team that won this individual battle, because I'm pretty sure their map count against the other teams in their group was pretty damn similar. But that's just another example of these kind of dodgy champs formats, I think. Team War and Enigma 6 made it out Pool B, FaZe Clan units made it out Pool C, Envy, Reciprocity, Singularity, Luminosity, 100 Thieves, Sicario. So yeah, Midnight and UYU going home here from the Pro League teams. And just to make this slightly smaller, OpTic, Evil Geniuses, Spikes, Heretics, largely as expected, not an incredible amount of upsets. That leaves us with this bracket. This is what we're looking at here. This all kicks off in just a few hours time. E-United War, Splice EG. So, you know, let's just do some quick predictions. E-United should beat War. I'm going to favour Splice over EG. Singularity will beat Sicario for my money. Envy units, I fancy units kind of. FaZe Rec is a crazy cool matchup with, you know, some European guys in there. I think FaZe are going to win though. 100 Thieves LG, I think 100 Thieves will win. OpTic should beat Heretics and E6 should beat Elevate. And from there on, you guys can fill out the rest of your bracket yourselves. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, leave your thoughts down below on a crazy day. 3 more days of action at the CWL World Championship. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. So yeah, like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time.